Good morning. Um, Here we are, Tuesday. Um, it was snowing a little. I don't know if it's still snowing, but not very much. I did see so I get these things on my phone sometimes from Google with photos, from past years, like on this day or this week or something like that. Um, so it looks like I didn't have anything from last year, but 2 years ago we definitely had snow, and um, 5 years ago it was a huge snow pile. I don't even remember that, but yeah, we must have had a lot of snow. Um, and I think 3 years ago there was also snow. So this day, the first week of February, something like that, is we definitely have a history of snow. So not so surprising, I suppose, um, and that's fine. Uh, so did send out an email yesterday with some more information about the vaccine stuff. Yeah, I mean, certainly, I think if you're interested in doing it, you should pursue all avenues. Definitely go to the state site, read the information they have there. There's good information at the Christianacare site too. Um, Unfortunately, because of the nature of the supply and whatnot, there really isn't one. It would be nice if there was sort of one um, one group or one unit that you could just go to and they would be taking care of everything. But it's everything is kind of broken up in different pieces for a lot of reasons. I mean, not just the supply, but also um, the volume of people that want the vaccine, right? So if there was only one place to go to get it, it would be impossible to get it, right? Because you can imagine there would be like thousands of people trying to get it. So splitting it up makes sense, right? Logistically and all of that. Um, Also, not it, and I know it hasn't been as publicized as you might have wished, but there's another good reason for that, right? Because again, you want to make it you want to make it available, and you want to make it people able to find the information. But if you publicize it too widely, too loudly, you get what happened, at the DMV, where a lot of people who didn't have appointments showed up and just hoped that they would be able to get in, and the traffic was so bad that nobody could get by. In fact, people couldn't even drive on the road. So yeah, it's there's a lot that goes into figuring out how to do this and to do it effectively. And I really appreciate, and I'm really grateful for all the people who are working very hard to try to make this happen on the scale which it has to happen, which is kind of enormous. Um, so it's a huge undertaking, and I definitely sending my prayers out to the people who are working long hours to make sure that this can go through for everyone. Um, so absolutely pursue that, to whatever degree you feel is important to you. But I would like everyone to keep in mind that there is no reason to like panic about this or to get really upset if things aren't if you're not able to arrange for the vaccine right now. It will be ongoing, right? It's going to keep on going. They're not going to stop doing it. Um, and as time goes by, your chances will get better, right? Because fewer people will need it, more people will be vaccinated. Um, you you've made it this far, right? We've all made it this far. We know how to survive through this, right? We have our masks and we have our social distancing, and we know how to get groceries delivered, and uh, order things online, and we have an infrastructure. We've literally been doing this for almost a year. Think about that for a minute. We've been doing this for almost a year. Um, we know how to do it. It doesn't mean that we want to prolong it, but if you need to, you can. So keep that in mind. There's no reason to have this become like an obsession, or something that you are really, really worried about. Um, it's just something that you're trying to get done, and when it happens, it happens. Um, okay, so putting everything in there, its proper perspective. Hopefully, uh, we can move forward with that. Um, so in that vein, let's talk a moment about this idea. So I've seen this quote online, and I really love it because I think um, it really speaks to some. It makes a very important concept very understandable. So um, the idea is that we all have this internal thing, right? So we are what we are inside, and if you um, the quote is like, so the person is carrying a hot cup of coffee, and someone bumps into them. They spill the coffee all over themselves. They burn themselves. They're angry. They yell at that person. They are really distraught. They've spilled their precious coffee. They probably burned themselves, and it's a whole big thing, right? But if that person was carrying a glass of water and they got bumped, chances are the water would, it would be just room temperature. It would maybe get the floor wet a little bit or something, but no harm, no foul. The person probably would not be that distressed by it, and it would be nothing. So if we think about that in terms of what are we carrying within us, right? Um, if we have peace and calm and uh, a kind nature, right? We are holding this thought of kindness and peacefulness. Then when people bump into us, right? When things disrupt our life, what spills out is kindness, is understanding and compassion. Um, when we are holding a lot of anger and fear and um, negative thoughts, that's what's going to come out, right? And we are going to kind of spew that out on everyone around us. Um, so we may feel like we can hide how we are, right? We can, and I think a lot of people do that. They put on this sort of veneer of calm and kindness, but inside it's a whole different story. And when things are disruptive, or they feel off balance or surprised or whatever, that's when you get these flashes of what's really going on inside. Um, so look within, right? Let's take care of the inside and not worry about the outside, right? Um, if your inside is in good shape, it's going to shine out through the outside. Um, you don't need to pretend that you are something you are not. What you want to do is, whatever it is that you're trying to be on the outside, how about we actually do that on the inside? So, right? Well, that sounds easy, right? Hey, how do we do that? Okay, so here's a couple simple ways to do that. Stop holding on to things. Stop holding on to your anger and your fear and your resentment, right? We treasure these things like they're some sort of jewels of high price, but in truth, they're just poison that we let sort of marinate in here. It's no good. Um, you aren't doing anyone a damage by resenting them, but yourself, right? You think you think you're hurting someone else, but you're not. Um, Resentment about something is is pointless, right? It doesn't mean that you don't. It doesn't mean again that you've absolved that person of what they did, but you've allowed yourself to move on, right? Which is really the ultimate form of revenge, if you think about it. If you really want to get revenge on the people who have harmed you, um, forget them. let that let it go, right? It doesn't mean you're going to let them hurt you again. No, we're going to be aware of the people who are doing things like that and not let that happen to us again. But we aren't going to give them any power over us either. We're done with them. We've forgotten it. Let it go. So, and I think a lot of times people think that in order to do that, you have to confront that person or try to make things right, right? Give them the opportunity to make things right. But I'm going to tell you, for the most part, if a person is so unkind, so self-unaware, and or whatever it is, that they go around hurting other people, your confrontation isn't going to be the light bulb moment for them. It's just going to give them another opportunity to hurt you. So if you feel like you must confront them, by all means, go for it. There's no reason for you not to. But you don't have to. It is not a requirement for moving on. What is a requirement is letting go, right? Let go of that hurt. Let go of that incident that you are carrying around like it's such a precious jewel. It isn't. It's just something that's hurting you again and again. You can let it go. And I think this is a surprising thing for people. Um, we think it's somehow, I don't know, in some ways it feels almost like a betrayal to your past self, right? That you're letting go. You're letting go of this thing that happened. Okay. I mean, it happened. It's something that happened, just like so many other things that have happened to us. It may seem very important. We may have given it maybe bigger importance than many other things in our life. But again, it's just one thing that happens to us in our life. We can let it go and we can move on. Be ready for more things to come. Um, so, this is just all part of that same thing of moving on, letting go of what you're attached to, right? We can be attached to people, we can be attached to things. Often we think of it in a positive sense, like, oh, I'm so attached to this person, they're so important to me, or this house is so important to me, or this place that I live, or this job, or something that's we're so attached to. But we can also be attached to negative things. I'm so attached to this thing, this terrible thing that happened to me. I'm so attached to my anger, to my resentment, to my, victimhood, right? That's a thing, right? Sometimes there are times where that is our role. We feel like we're just this victim, right? Everyone is taking advantage of us. We are powerless, right? And, you know, there may be instances where that has absolutely been the case for you. Um, but it doesn't have to be who you are, right? That's your choice, right? You may not have had any choice in what happened to you, but you have every choice in how that affects you. You can let it go. You can say, well, that really sucked. I hated that, but I'm moving on. What's next? All of these things sound easy, right? I'm saying it, the words come out, sounds so easy, but it's a lifetime's work. Um, it truthfully is. But again, like we said before, the first step is knowing that it's possible to do that. It is possible to do that. It may take a while, it may take some work, but that possibility is the first thing. The next thing is putting that possibility into action. So, when we can do that, then we are going to have cool water here, right? We are not going to spill our hot coffee on other people around us. And we are going to ultimately be at peace, right? We are going to have a peace within that maybe we were not able to have before. So um, it's worth it. It's worth working on. Um, and again, like everything else we talk about in yoga, this is your work. You don't need anyone's permission to do this. You don't need anyone's cooperation to do this. It doesn't matter what they think or what they don't think. This is up to you, how you want this to go. Good morning, Ruth and Susan and Sandra. Let's do some asana. Breathe, sitting up tall. And then just let the head hang down. Shoulders relaxed. Lift the head, keep lifting, chin lifts up. Back to center. Take a breath and then lower the head to the right. Back to center and lower to the left. And back up. Lean forward and move around. One way and the other. Back up, arms wide. Take a deep breath and then exhale, bringing hands together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Interlace the fingers. Lift, hands high, gaze up, and then arms down by your side. Inhale, lift. And lower. Lift. And lower. Once more, lifting up. And then I'm going to bring the left hand down, reach across with the right. Switch. Let's lift the shoulders, roll them back. And forward. Left hand on right knee, right arm behind, sitting up tall, and then a twist. Back to center. Inhale and twist. Back to center. Let's walk the hands out. And then bring the arms behind. Fingertips are pointing away from the body. Squeeze the shoulders together, gaze up. And then back up to your seat. Tabletop. Let's move through cat-cow for a few rounds. Inhales and exhales. Sitting back on the heels. Coming back up. Tabletop. Let's swing the right knee around. So we're up on that left knee, arms overhead. Maybe lean back a little. And then hands to center. Take a breath. And then twisting to the right. Hook the elbow here, or just press against the knee and pull that right shoulder back. Back to center, right hand, down by the foot, left arm lifts. And then let's bring the left hand down. It'll be out sort of by the edge of the mat. Right arm lifts. And then both hands to the mat. And kind of walk the hands out. Moving into kind of a little lizard here. And the more you lean into this, the more weight you put into the hands, the more intense the stretch. Walking the hands back. We're going to straighten out that right leg. You might have to wiggle it a little forward. And then maybe folding over. And then set the foot down, swing it back around, child's pose again. You could stack the fists here, rest the forehead. Moving back up. Tabletop, swing the left leg around. Up on that right knee, arms high. Maybe lean back. And then hands to center. Take a breath. Twisting left. Back to center. Left hand down by the foot. Right arm lifts. And then switch hands. Right hand is down. Left arm lifts. Both hands down to the mat. Kind of walk the hands out. And breathe. Walk the hands back, straightening that leg out, and then maybe folding over. And set the foot down, swing your leg around, go back into child's pose. Moving back up, tabletop to downward dog. Moving forward, high plank, and lower down. Head turns right, arms by your side. Take a few breaths. Head back to center. Let's leave the arms by your side. Just flip the palms. We're going to lift up head and chest, arms and legs. Lower down, head turns left. And then head back to center. We're going to bring the arms out in front, rolling up on one side. We're going to bend the top knee, right? And then extend the legs. So you could hold on to the leg or you can reach the toe. That's a convenient thing to hold on to. But whatever you got here is fine. We're balancing and breathe. And then set the leg down. We're going to roll over. So we're on the other side. Same thing, right? Finding that balance. If you need to bend the knee so that you have a little more, leverage, right, for your balance, that's fine. And then release it down. And we're going to roll onto our backs. I'm off the mat here, but hopefully you're still on the mat. Be comfortable here. Take a few breaths. And then right ankle on left knee. Working supine pigeon here, whichever version is your choice. Knee in, or thigh in close to the body, or left foot on the floor, your choice. If you're looking for more challenge, you can extend the leg here. I feel like I have enough challenge right now. But maybe you want more. I don't know. And then set it down, switch. And again, whatever version you want. We try to do the same on one side as the other. So if you're in on one side, you gotta go for it on the other too. See, look, I'm gonna stretch. Right, and if for some reason on one day or a couple of days you don't do that, that's fine. What you don't want is to just consistently be doing much more on one side than the other. Then you end up with some imbalances. And then feet back to the floor. Breath in and breath out. Let's do a supported bridge here. So you got your block, heels are back close to the body, lifting up. Find a place for the block to be and relax. You could also do a regular bridge or a regular bridge and then a supported bridge. Whatever you feel is important for you to do today. Lifting up, remove the block, press back down, soles of the feet together, knees apart. You can bring hands onto the belly or bring them up over the head. And then bringing everything to center. Hug the knees in, rock a little side to side. Arms out, goalpost arms or arms to a T. Lowering knees to the right. Set your gaze to the left. Then knees go left. Knees in right. Legs back to center, extend. Bring your hands by the side. And then lowering down. However you like. And moving into a comfortable place for Shavasana. Focusing on the breath, sensations in the body. Allow the breath to move through the body, bringing in that sense of peace and calm. And with the exhales, releasing anything negative, anything you don't want anymore. Let it wash out of the body with the breath. Moving a little then. And when you're ready, making your way up to a seat on the mat. Let's bring our hands together. Deep breath in and out. Thank you for taking your time this morning to come to the mat and practice some yoga. I hope you have a very good Tuesday. Namaste. Okay. Meditation. 5 minutes. So, getting comfortable, however you want to sit, or even lay down. You could do that. Just finding that peaceful place. Maybe you were just there. You can go right back into that place and breathe. Okay, we're back. So yoga and meditation. Tuesday, enjoy your day. I think it's still snowing a tiny bit out there, but not too much. So I don't think I'm going to get my 50-degree day on Friday, but I'm hoping for something a little warmer than it has been. Okay, I'll be back tomorrow. Enjoy your day.